My mother took this picture of me in December of 2015. I'm sitting at the chess table I've had since I was 14 years old. I'm in the middle of playing against a strong modern chess engine called Stockfish. Of course, I can't beat it. I've been playing chess for 11 years and enjoy the game quite a bit. When I have no one to play with, I turn to chess engines, but today they are so advanced that they've surpassed the humans who've created them. But how? An AI bot shouldn't be smarter than the person who created it. That's like saying a river derived from an ocean is bigger than its source. To learn why chess engines have become so smart, we have to take a look back at the advances in computing in World War II. This is John von Neumann, Alan Turing, and Claude Shannon in the 1940s. They were three of the scientists who were tasked to create and design a computer that could crack the code of the Nazi war machine known as the Enigma, a seemingly unbreakable code that held the plans of attack of the German U-boats during World War II. Turing and his team succeeded in cracking the code to the Enigma by first creating a calculating machine and then having it break the code. In 1945, Turing went on to design a vast stored program electronic computer called the Automatic Computing Engine. Turing's machine found commercial success in the English Electric Company's DEUCE, one of the earliest electronic computers to go on sale. In 1948, Turing began to investigate the idea of chess-playing computers with a system written out with paper and pencil, where he played the role of the machine. In the 1950s, Turing developed the Turing test, which is one of the sub-questions Turing had when he was questioning the feasibility of a thinking machine that could play chess. The Turing test raised the following questions. 1. Could one make a machine that would obey the rules of chess, such as legal moves? 2. Could one make a machine that could solve chess problems, for example, puzzles or a specific mate in few moves? 3. Could one make a machine that could play a reasonably good game of chess, such as ordinary positions? Could a machine play typical positions? 4. Could one make a machine that could play chess and improve its play game by game, profiting from its experiences? Although he may not have foreseen it at the time, the idea of a machine thinking for itself and improving with experience is what we now know as artificial intelligence. In 1949, Claude Shannon expanded on Turing's work in a paper where he explained his investment in the idea of a machine that could play chess. Although of no practical importance, the question is of theoretical interest, and it is hoped that this problem will act as a wedge in attacking other problems of greater significance, Shannon said. This greater significance Shannon referred to is artificial intelligence. In 1951, Alan Turing developed on paper the first program capable of playing a full game of chess. In 1952, Turing used his own chess program in a friendly game against Alec Glennie, a fellow co-worker. But there was one problem. Turing didn't have a computer to run his program on, so he had to spend 30 minutes on paper and pencil working out each move his computer was giving him. Turing had the white pieces, and his program opened with the Vienna game, an opening that isn't seen very often, not even in those days, because it doesn't give much of an advantage to white. On move 29, Turing resigned on behalf of his computer. This round went to humans. Despite its flaws, Turing's program was a clever machine that had a lot of effort and thought put into it. Turing quantified material count and positional evaluation using square roots. Moreover, it factored king safety. The computer was able to distinguish a good position from a bad position based on probably a beginner's comprehension of the game. In 1951, Turing's colleague Dietrich Prinz wrote the first actual automated chess-playing program. Prinz's program ran on the new Ferranti Mark I computer hosted at Manchester University. Although it couldn't play a full game due to a lack of memory, it successfully played the mate in two problem. To show you what I mean by a mate in two problem, I'm going to show you a quick game. It's from the Philidor opening, and it begins with e4. Black plays e5. I think it's knight to f3. d6. Then white goes bishop to c4. Black plays, in this variation, knight to c6. White plays knight to c3. And black plays bishop to g4, pinning this knight to the queen. This piece can't move or else the queen will be taken. But if you're familiar with this this variation and you're playing as white, you can stir up some trouble for black, possibly get a checkmate if they don't know what they're doing. Because that is exactly what we're going to do. We are going to take, and then black is going to take, and now white has a mate in two. White can checkmate black in two moves, and I'm going to turn on the analysis. I'm going to turn on the engine, and it'll show you what it thinks it'll do. It thinks we should take that pawn. Black's only move is, that's check. Black's only move is to move the king one space up. And now this is checkmate. Knight to d5, and the game's over. And that is what, and so I'll go back to show you. These two moves are, that was all the first actual chess engine could comprehend. That's all it could do. And now we can play full games on it. In 1958, an IBM researcher named Alex Bernstein wrote the first complete, fully automated chess-playing program, and it ran on the new IBM 704 mainframe. Turing's algorithm for a chess program functioned at a basic level and was updated and improved decades after his death in 1954. Before work on a chess program begun, John von Neumann developed Minimax in 1928 when he was 25 years old. Minimax is an algorithm that chooses moves in a two-player game that maximize one player's score while minimizing the opponent's score. In short, it produces the most logical plan of attack.
In 1959, the idea was to create an artificial intelligence, a machine that thinks the way a human thinks.
now being given the instructions to prepare its next move. It is in its thinking process now, which lasts for approximately 6 seconds. 3,000 individual calculations have been done. The machine indicates its move by means of the console light, which indicated that it has moved the pawn 1 square forward.
By the 1960s, AI could play real automated chess against a human opponent. This era in AI development is referred to as cognitive simulation, because of the specific focus on developing algorithms that could simulate some narrow aspect of human cognition, like playing chess, for example, rather than general intelligence. But while the world of computers and AI improved, the world of chess was rocked as well. During the 50s and 60s, arguably one of the greatest chess players in the world was introduced. Robert James Fischer was the youngest grandmaster of his time and had an arrogance and mysteriousness about him that the media couldn't get enough of.
Bobby Fischer. Barely 15 years old, he became a grandmaster, youngest ever to receive that coveted acknowledgement from the International Chess Federation.
Is chess a gift? Could a guy who doesn't have a gift for it learn to be a great chess player?
Great? No, he could be good though. Yeah, a good player. A lot of top players I don't think are that talented. Just work like dogs.
Is it inherited, or do you come from chess players?
No. I mean, my mind is inherited, but no.
Yeah. And what is it? What goes with a great chess ability? Are you terrifically logical in your thought processes? Can you see where an argument is going? Are you very neat in your personal life with your room? Do you leave your ties on the floor? Or any of the above?
I think I'm pretty logical. No, I'm not the neatest guy around.
Yeah, you probably are the world's greatest chess player, and there's no reason to be modest about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's no way that I could disprove that. Did you feel like a prodigy as a kid? Did other kids say, he's in playing chess while we're out playing baseball?
No, not too much.
Yeah. But you were a prodigy.
I was a prodigy, yeah.
In 1972, Robert James Fischer went up against Boris Spassky, chess superstar of the Soviet Union, in the World Chess Championship.
Time when the US and the USSR had thousands of nuclear missiles aimed at each other's cities, Fischer versus Spassky was much more than a chess match. Over the course of 2 months, with tens of millions of people following his every move, Fischer didn't just win, he crushed Spassky.
After his victory, Fischer retired at the age of 29 and went into isolation. During this time, chess-playing programs continued to improve with a combination of more powerful hard drives and better software. As such, chess programs and computers alike developed a rather human trait known as heuristics. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, heuristic is involving or serving as an aid to learning, discovery, or problem-solving by experimental and especially trial and error methods. One could say, with the advancement in AI, computers became more human. In fact, they became so human that chess computers could now compete in tournaments against humans and even give masters a run for their money. MacHack 6 was a chess program developed at MIT and was the first ever computer to compete in human tournament conditions. It was the first computer to receive a chess rating, and, most impressively, with regard to AI, it was the first computer to beat the person who invented it. Richard Greenblatt was the primary author of the Greenblatt chess program in 1966 and 1967. In 1977, former world champion and American hero Robert James Fischer was convinced to go to MIT and challenge this new chess program known as MacHack. He agreed to play 3 games against the computer. He won every single game. Fischer had the white pieces during his first game against MacHack. He opted for the King's Gambit opening. But what makes this game fascinating is that Fischer rarely employed the King's Gambit. In fact, he outright denounced it in an article published in the 1960s by he himself. In it he said, quote, "In my opinion, the King's Gambit is busted. It loses by force." End quote. In 1978, MacHack got adapted to the chess-oriented processing system, one of the first dedicated hardware approaches in computer chess. Even though it was still rather primitive, especially when compared to today's standards, the MacHack was instrumental in the 1980s during the age of the personal computing era. Computer chess engines became available to the public. A chess engine called the Chess Challenger from Fiddledy Electronics played at beginner levels, but it was very popular with consumers.
Electronics introduces the first chess game that not only thinks, but also speaks to you.
I am Fidelity Chess Challenger. Your computer opponent. Enter your move B1, C3, enter. From H4 to F2, queen takes on check and mate.
Fidelity's Challenger Series games at fine stores everywhere.
For better or for worse, Alan Turing's dream of a machine that could think like a human was on its way, and it was coming fast. In 1980, the United States Chess Federation prohibited computers from competing in human tournaments because, at this point, they could tell that machine was catching up to man. In 1945, chess icon and world champion Garry Kasparov took on a rather unexpected challenge. He played against the top 15 best chess programs at the time in Hamburg, Germany. He won every game with a score of 32-0. However, in 1988, the machine that would eventually fill many with fear and excitement was created. Its name was Deep Thought. Initially developed at Carnegie Mellon University and later at IBM, it was designed to play chess. In 1988, it became the first chess program to beat a grandmaster, Bent Larsen. This caught the attention of Garry Kasparov and the media. A chess match between the two legends had to be played.
In the moments before their match, the adversaries are at the center of a brave new world of chess and the microchip. Like fighters before a title bout, they're pressed for clues to the outcome and meaning of their confrontation.
Well, I think you're right, but one has to be a good tactician and very patient.
That's true. That's why I say that if computer is much more powerful.
Do you feel bad that what you may be doing is like taking away the human creative, soul?
I don't think it's taking away the human creative soul. In the sense, we're creating something that's human, try to duplicate the human's behavior, in some sense.
You're not trying to create a super, thing that's unhuman, that's better than humans. Can you do that?
We're trying to build something that's better than all human in a specific domain. Now, what does that do? Unclear.
But doesn't that necessarily have broader implications?
You have to win the chess game. If you can win having 70% or 75 or 60,
I thought it was
what's the reason here?
Kasparov sweating a little. He's talking about representing the human race.
Well, we prefer to think of Kasparov as a willing participant in the experiment trying to measure the human limitation in chess intelligence.
Okay, we're ready.
In 1989, Garry Kasparov played 2 games against Deep Thought and won both games rather easily. However, Deep Thought was no pushover. It made Garry Kasparov question whether or not he could still beat it in the years to come.
Is Garry Kasparov, the human champion, maybe the best chess player who's ever lived.
I mean, the idea of this match is much wider than chess itself. It's a man versus the computer, and right now, watching this enormous development of the computers, I mean, people probably have this fear. It's very deep still, but it's a fear. Who knows? Probably in the future, computer will replace us. I mean, will control our life. And chess is probably the only kind of activity, human activity, when you can compare our ability and computer.
After its defeat, Deep Thought developers claimed that a computer would be the world chess champion in 3 years. In 1993, IBM developed the GNU chess program and the basis of all chess programs we have to this day, Deep Blue. By 1997, it could beat grandmasters more regularly and evaluate 2 million possible moves per second. Garry Kasparov played 6 games in a tournament style against Deep Blue in May 1997 in New York. Deep Blue won the match 3.5 to 2.5. Machine had beaten man. After its victory, Deep Blue's developers built more proficient and stronger chess programs off of Deep Blue. And today, we can run chess programs that are even more advanced on a laptop or a phone, for example. Speaking of phones, the current world chess champion Magnus Carlsen has an app called Play Magnus, where you can play against the world champion at basically every age in his life, or rather, a computer that simulates his playstyle. But despite being the best human player in the world, he knows that he doesn't stand a chance against a computer, and that chess engines now surpass humans. In an article published October 24th, 2016, chess grandmaster and columnist Andrew Soltis said, "Right now, there's no competition. The computers are just too good." Today, most grandmasters, like Magnus Carlsen, use chess computers to train as a training aid, or to analyze positions, or even come up with new strategies. But it's clear that chess programs are superior to humans. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. New chess software now makes it easier for younger players to learn about the game and improve. A chess database known as ChessBase 10 allows players of all ages and skills to play through new games online and on-screen, adding their own games to the ChessBase record and learning more rapidly from their mistakes. It's ironic. When Alan Turing began work on a machine that could think and play chess, he thought he would have to program it so that it would think like a human. But now, more humans are trying to be like computers and machines. Now the question is no longer, can we make a machine think like a human? The new question is, can we make a human think like a machine?